being helped by government financing. But attorney Cora Walker is a Harlemite who knows that some corporate dreams wake up disappointed.
The idea dawned upon me, and really starting in the question of the riots, because the riots hit here at 64, that in talking to the people on the street, they felt they didn't have anything. They didn't own anything. Everybody owned something. So I then took the co-op concept and went out with them, started out in November of 66, that if they wanted to, they could own something on a cooperative basis. So then we took a sound truck, started out 145th Street and 8th Avenue, and said, if you're interested in finding out how you can buy shares in a supermarket that you own. And we were flooded with people. The store opened June 4th of 68. They voted to name the store Harlem Co-op Supermarket. People used to ride by just to see the store. But the beautiful part was the stockholders. They really loved that store. So if they came in there and they didn't have salt, they didn't buy salt until we got salt. The first 9 months, we made $2,800,000. And it was a threat. It was an absolute threat to our competitors. 9 months after we were there, it arrived, somebody made a decision that we had to be stopped, and they threw around the so-called picket line. And the picket line really was not a valid picket line, because it was not our workers who were the backbones of it. Because the co-op really cut into the business of our competitors, that was in the back of it. But the little people of Harlem kept that store open. They worked in there. They had to go out because nobody would deliver anything. You couldn't get a loaf of bread. And then we had people who would get in their cars. And first they started going to the warehouses and picking it up. Then they got word of that, and because of threats of retaliation, they wouldn't sell it to us. So then we developed, it would be a young mothers program, any name, but we'd meet the bread trucks and buy bread from the bread trucks, and then they bring it in on in their cars, and then they sell it to themselves. But we had 16 picture windows, and those 16 picture windows were broken 15 times. The police were never able to find anybody at any time. Both of my sons at that time were in college. And of course, when they came home in the summer of 69, they were right there at the store helping out whichever way they could. And they came to me and said that they had been told that if they did not convince me to walk away from the supermarket, that they were going to be without a mother. At that point, the Panthers were dying and itching to retaliate with violence. And some, black groups, nationalist groups wanted. And my concept was use, the system of justice to establish, and you're going to get a court order. You never got a court order. I'm sorry they didn't, They're just sorry I didn't let them do his own thing. But the store closed in March of 76 because through all of this, they just were inundated with debt and financial failure not because they couldn't run a store, not because they could not run a supermarket, but because they were not able to deal with the inner workings of the food industry. I was heartbroken because there was a faith of so many little people that justice will prevail.